Hey guys, I just thought you might like a little update. Um, First, the health update. Uh, Leg spasms are almost gone. They're much less intense. Um, Walking is still a little unsteady. Um, I've been having panic attacks, like unexplained panic attacks. One of the times I blacked out. I disassociated and like I was in Walmart looking at markers, and I disassociated, and I came to, I don't know how much later, and I don't remember what had happened. Um, that's that's always exciting. A little bit of muscle weakness still. Speech cognition is almost back to baseline. Um, I'm just been stuttering a little bit. I didn't used to stutter, so be nice if that goes away. Um, I did a little research on spasms, and I guess oftentimes they're related. They're seizures, uh, and seizures would explain a lot of what I've been experiencing. Um, but I doubt that I will be so lucky as to have such an explanation. I see a neurologist in the next couple weeks, and maybe I get answers. Maybe I get nothing. I don't know. Um, so that's my machinery. The build status. I've ordered some little tiny circuit boards that I can solder the male connector onto, which then has a header on the top to solder the wires into, um, from JLC PCB. They're supposed to be arriving maybe next week. Um, that's going to be the best approach I've got to reliably attach the wires to that connector, because they don't make a crimp version of that connector. Most likely, I will just solder the wires to the board and then epoxy them in place. I do have the option of using crimp connectors, but uh, it feels like overkill, and it feels like it's going to just make it take longer. Um, let's see what else we got here. So, in my absence, someone in the community figured out the ignition issue. I haven't had a chance to test it yet, but once I get past that ignition issue, so the people who are using his fix are having the power steering control module fault randomly. Like they try to turn on OpenPilot and the PSCM faults. That's expected because I needed to get ignition working before I could add the code to fix that. So it's doing what I expected, and I know how to fix it. I have a plan to fix it. I just couldn't write that fix until I had it functional. So, whenever I get a chance to test the harness again, with the fixed code, we will be. I'll be able to implement the. Essentially, I've got to grab the rolling counter immediately before the relay is disconnected, so that the next message that the Panda sends is the next value in the rolling counter. Uh, Power steering control module and everything on the bolt are if one is out of order, it throws a fault code. You get the check engine light. It's very picky. Over the next couple days, I'm going to try to assemble some of these guys. My pedals. Um, Hopeful that my hands will cooperate, um, and I'll be able to, and then I might even be able to get some shipped out for people who don't need harnesses. Um, the harness is kind of the holdup. Let's see. We got I think I mentioned a community member who is familiar with circuit board design is going to help possibly try to make a one-sided pedal board. Then I don't have to do any surface mount soldering. That could be nice. That would be real nice. Finally, for the building of the harness, it seemed to me that most of the time was spent getting reoriented. I would have a wire and then I would forget what that wire meant, and I would lose my place, and so I'd have to take the connector and count down to see what the pin number was. So my plan is to build, I'm designing and going to print a 3D print a jig where I can put all the wires at once into their correct place, and then work with them from there so I don't get disoriented, and they're labeled, and it should dramatically reduce the time required to build the harness. I was thinking I should also find some way maybe to have it have a space for the shrink wraps, so I'll make sure, because several times I would solder a wire and then realize I forgot to put the shrink tubing on. So if I can make this jig, I remember the assembly time was well over 2 hours for the first one. This jig could be what it takes to get it down under an hour, and then I can be comfortable with the $30 fee. So there's the gears are turning again, and I am definitely feeling better. I'm just not at 100%. So I really appreciate the support that I've received from people, the comments and messages. It's really great to know that people care. Also, thank you for the financial support from purchasing products and from being Patreon supporters. If you're not a Patreon supporter and you think you could drop a little money, it would be very helpful right now. That's patreon.com/BoltOpenPilot. The store is still open. Store.schulerent, that's SHULERENT.com. That's functioning. My website's broke because my SSL certificate's expired, and I don't know if I know the password to get onto my server, so I'll fix it. I will fix it. It just hasn't been the highest priority. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks again for your support. I hope you guys have a great day, and stay safe.